Hi, Brian. How you doing?
I'm doing great.
Good. Pleasure to meet with you. And I want to tell you a little bit about what we're doing here at AIG. You know, at AIG, one of the things we're trying to achieve is we're trying to help every American out there achieve financial security. And in working with our clients, we've kind of noticed a couple things with most people. One is most of them seem to struggle to keep their financial affairs organized. Would you put yourself in that category?
Oh, definitely I would.
Yeah, you're not alone. It just seems to be something that for whatever reason everybody seems to struggle with. So, you know, it's something that we see all the time. The second thing we've noticed in working with people is they don't seem to have a whole lot of confidence when it comes to facing their retirement futures. Would you put yourself in that category as well?
Oh, absolutely, definitely.
Yeah, you're not alone. It seems to be the number one issue we see today. People just aren't certain about their retirement. So in response to that, we developed this process we call financial profiles, and we do this free of charge for all of our clients and their immediate family members. What I'd like to do is give you a brief overview of what you're entitled to.
That'd be great.
Okay? So let's talk about retirement. You know, you talked about lack of confidence in retirement. Here's one of the reasons that's the number one concern when we see it. This is a stat that comes out from Social Security. Comes out, last time this came out was 2012. And this is what exists for every 100 people today when they retire at age 65. 63% of the people retire with incomes under $35,000. Okay, that's unbelievable. I think, you know, if you break that down even further, you know, 13% are under $10,000. So it's pretty scary, you know, where people are for retirement. 18% have incomes between 35 and 60. 11% retire with incomes between 60 and 100, and only 8% of the people in this country retire with incomes over $100,000. When you see these stats, I mean, what thoughts come to your mind when you hear these kind of records?
That's very scary.
Yeah, it really is, and you know, people don't plan to fail; they just fail to plan. Basically, is what you see here. So, to help address that, we've developed this process called a retirement needs forecast. Okay, and what we've done here is we've mapped out somebody's future retirement, and if you look at retirement income, it basically comes from three different sources: Social Security, employer-sponsored plans, okay, and anything that we all save and invest ourselves, like 401k, you know, mutual funds, stuff like that, okay? So we have this family here called Peter and Susan Franklin that we've mapped this out for. They're a fictitious family. They're married, have 2 kids, they're in their 30s, and they have a goal. They want to retire someday at age 65, okay? Make sense so far?
Sure.
So what we've done is we've mapped out these 3 sources of income over here. So what you see in the green, this is income from their employer-sponsored plans. Susan, in her case, she has an old defined benefit pension plan. It'll provide a little bit of money when she retires, but not a lot. Okay? What you see here in yellow is actually income that they will receive from Social Security. Okay? Assuming there's no changes to Social Security in the future, this is what would happen for them. The gold here is everything that they've saved and invested on their own. Okay? So what happens is Peter and Susan retire at 65, and they start to live their retirement. And everything's going great. The income's there, the income's there, the income's there. Then you see here around age 80, you know, they run out of money from everything they've saved and invested. All they have left to live on now is this small pension and Social Security. Okay, not a great situation. Okay, so what you want when you do this, you don't want to see any red here. And I kind of make a joke with this with my clients all the time. I'm like the Visine guy. You know, my job's to get the red out. Okay? And really there's 4 ways we can go about doing that. Okay? One is Peter and Susan could postpone their retirement age. Okay? Instead of retiring at 65, they might want to delay it to 67, 68. You probably know of some people that have had to do that. Okay? It's not a very popular choice, okay, but it is an option out there for people. The second option is maybe they have to reduce their standard of living in retirement. Maybe they can't travel like they'd always hoped to. Maybe they can't go visit the grandkids as much as they would have liked to because they just won't have the income that they need in retirement. Again, not a very popular choice with most people. Okay, the other 2 choices we could actually do to try to fix it now is we can try to save more money today to try to fix it. And number 4 is we could try to earn a higher rate of return on the money we have already saved and invested. Does that make sense?
Sure.
Okay. What we've done for Peter and Susan is we've actually mapped out a strategy down here at the bottom of the page. Okay. In Peter and Susan's case, they're actually earning 7.69% rate of return on their investments right now. Okay. If that doesn't change for them, they need to start saving an additional $384 a month today. okay, to get this red out. Does that make sense? So what this is saying, if they started at $384 a month today and did that every month until age 65, it would completely eliminate this red. Okay, good information to know, right?
Absolutely.
The second thing is they could try to get a better rate of return on their investments. You know, if we could actually get them from 7.69 up to 9.34, you can see here there's no additional money needed. That would actually get all the red out as well up here. Okay. Now, that might be hard to do. In most clients' situations, we kind of do a combination of both of those. We try to get more efficient on the investing, which you can see here if we can get them from 7.69 to 8.52. Now all they need to do is save $179 a month. Okay. Let me ask you a question. Do you think having an analysis like this for you and your family would be helpful?
That would be extremely helpful.
Yeah. I mean, it would be nice to just know where you stand, right, and what you need to do to get to where you want to get to. Okay? You know, the second thing we talked about earlier was, you know, people struggling to keep their financial affairs organized. Okay? So I want to address that real quick. What we've done here for Peter and Susan Franklin is we've taken their entire financial life and we've organized it on one page. Okay? And you can see here the name of the page is called the net worth page, and you may be familiar with the concept of net worth. You know, it's your assets minus your liabilities. You can see here they've got $475,000 of assets, $284 of liability, and they have a net worth of $191, which is really important when you're talking about planning for the future. But that's not what I want to focus on today. What I want to focus on is we've got Peter and Susan's entire financial life on one page, and what we've done here is we put the last 4 digits of all the account numbers. You can see here they have a Smart Trade account. We've got the last 4 digits here. And let me tell you why this is helpful. God forbid if something were to happen to Peter or Susan, you know, the survivor could come to this one page and handle all of the family's affairs. I don't know if you've experienced the death of a loved one and had to dig through, you know, financial records and stuff like that, but we find this to be very beneficial for our clients. Do you think something like this would be helpful for you guys?
I would love for something like that.
Okay, fantastic. You know, Brian, in order for me to produce one of these for you, you know, I need to ask you a bunch of questions around your financial life. I might need to get some statements on what some of the stuff you're already doing. I'd like to get started on that right now, and then what I can do is I'll come back in about a week, and I'll bring a copy of your profile. It'll have your name on it, and we'll go through it, and we'll be able to give you, you know, exactly where you stand financially. Does that make sense?
That sounds great. Thank you.
Okay, thanks.